Hello, everyone, and welcome to Session 1 of Life with Momentum with Deborah Graham. My name is Susan Dykes, and I will be your host for all of our sessions during the next 3 weeks. A little bit about myself. I've worked with Mrs. Graham for a number of years. I moved from an office job where I sit in a cubicle to where now I have more confidence in my abilities and my passion to teach, to lecture, and to help people understand what's really going on with their mind, body, and spirit. Without Mrs. Graham, I would never have realized my own inner passion for helping people heal the hurts within their own souls. It did not happen overnight. I had to commit to being present with every aspect of myself in order to move forward in my own passions, my own creativity, and in my own soul purpose. Like you, each and every one of you sitting here with us tonight, like you, I desired a life with balance and momentum, and Mrs. Graham has played a huge role in helping me attain that. Each of you on this call has taken a step to do the same thing. You may not be a teacher, you may not be a speaker, you may not be a healer, but you do have a passion for living a life with purpose, momentum, and healing. And I want to personally thank each of you for taking this step, and I want to invite you right now to look within your own soul, within your own spirit, within your own body, and let your inner child know that you will keep them safe on this journey. These next 3 weeks will truly be a journey, and we have a lot to cover in this first week as we begin to look at the heart of the matter. I call it the heart of the matter because it is here we acknowledge and become aware of the current situation we find ourselves in at this very moment. Some of you on this call, you may desire love, you may desire a relationship, maybe you desire a new job, more energy. Maybe all you really wish to do is heal something within your soul in order to manifest more energy, more life, more positivity. In this first session, Mrs. Graham and I are going to have you do a few exercises to bring to the forefront, not the story. We have all lived the story long enough. We want to bring forward the root cause of where your energy is stuck within your own body and how this energy is robbing you of the precious life you deserve. It is all about awareness. Awareness is 1/3 of the task at hand. When we are aware, we have choices. When we are aware, we are more informed. And we're going to help you identify some of the blocks in your life right now. Each of us sitting here has a block of some kind in their life. If you're sitting there and asking yourself why you're on this call, you're beginning to sabotage yourself. Stop it. When you signed up for this webinar, your spirit was calling out to you that something was out of balance. And it's this desire that we want to become aware of. It's the balance of our own feminine and our own masculine self that we want to engage with during these next 3 weeks in order to find momentum for our passion. The threads of our life started in the womb, sometimes even before. And we find ourselves in our current situation, which is the reason you're on this call. All of these threads connect together. Mrs. Graham is here to help you unravel those threads. She looks within your soul. She sees within your body. She feels what you feel. She goes large. She goes deep. So put on your seatbelts, buckle up, and let's get ready to find life with momentum. Mrs. Graham?
Thank you, Susan, so much. And exactly what Susan just said, there is so much to learn within these next 3 weeks. My intention is to help you get whole, get perfect, get complete, and find your purpose. Whether you are looking for love, had a relationship, lost the one that you loved, never had love, or just looking into what is your purpose in your career, whether you're going through health issues, this is your time to become whole, perfect, and complete by opening yourself up. And this is what we are here to do, is to bring that energy up to the surface. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be bumpy. We're going to go deep. We're going to go large. But once you get all of that energy that you have been holding on to, whether it's weeks, days, months, lifetimes, or whether this energy was attached to you from your family, from your lineage, whether you were born into this energy. Well, this is the time to transmit and reprogram your mind. And this is the time that I'm going to ask each and every one of you right now to say hello. Hello to yourself. As we say hello, whether we're answering the phone, whether we're walking into a store, we say hello to others, but we never say hello to ourselves. Well, this is the time right now that you are going to get in touch with yourself and open your heart and your soul and get rid of those blockages and really go deep into your soul and peel back those layers. So it's kind of like taking an onion and peeling back those layers, layer behind layer behind layer, to really get in touch with your core and create movement, to have the momentum, to really feel love. Because so many of us have so many things that we're holding on to. And sometimes it's very difficult for us to wake up in the morning and really be in a great mood and really be motivated, whether we're at work, home, or playing. So if we can just shed, like a baby sheds from its skin, like a snake sheds from its layers and opens up to a new beginning, this is your beginning. This is your time to say hello to you, to the new beginning, and say goodbye to the old and the worn out. So what I would like to start off doing tonight, just so we're able to kind of open up that energy, I want to really work with your third chakra, what I like to call the Gita, to really get that energy moving. Because as Susan said a few moments ago, it all starts in the womb. It starts in the womb when you're being born. It takes 9 months. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Creator, teacher, he didn't make the world in one day. It took 7 days for this earth to be created. And this earth has been here for billions and billions of years. And it's going to take some time. So don't get yourself overwhelmed or stressed out if things won't work as fast, as quick as you want them to. It depends on each and every one of you. How fast do you want to move? How deep do you want to go into your soul? It's up to you. I'm going to give you the instruments. Susan is going to guide you. We're going to give you homework. We have a lot in store. I'm very excited for each and every one of you to learn to say hello to yourself, because this is what it's about. It's about getting out the old and getting out that worn out and really connecting and understanding what is my purpose. Because you know what my story is? If you don't love what you're doing, then don't do it. You got to be happy in your home. You got to be happy in your work. Yes, we have days that there's times that we're happier and there's other days that we're not. And sometimes we just need to sleep in. Because what I do tell a lot of my clients, if you don't slow down, something's going to happen to slow you down. So I really want to teach you to really replenish your energy. So without further ado, we want to go into this meditation. I want you to just kind of move your fingers, just kind of move them, because a lot of times we don't move our body. We don't move our energy. We don't move our vibration. And that's what I want to help you really connect to, is your vibration. I want you to just kind of move your fingers for just a few minutes, move your toes, move them around. Just get that energy moving. We want to get the blood flowing. We want to get that energy moving. And I want you to just keep them energies just moving. And I want you to just take a deep breath in where you're moving your fingers, you're moving your arms, you're moving your legs, you're moving your toes. I want you to just move that frequency. I want you to move that energy. Now, I want you to take both of your hands. You're not necessarily going to be moving your toes or your fingers. I want you to take your hands and just put it right there to your third chakra. That's right there at the stomach. That's right between your third chakra and your second chakra. That's right between your stomach, your belly button right there. And I want you to hold that energy, because so many of us don't feel safe. So many of us did not have love as a child and maybe didn't have love in the womb. Well, we're going to teach you how to get back in touch with your womb energy and really feel the love. Feel that love for yourself. Feel that love that is going to be given to you so you can really get whole, perfect, and complete and get activated. So just keep your eyes closed. And for some of us, sometimes it's hard to really clear our minds. So I want you to just think of a color in your mind, whatever it may be, whether it's blue, green, lavender, whatever color you want it to be, even white. I want you to take a moment and visualize a color, whatever color comes to you, and just kind of focus on it. And I want you to just take some slow, deep breaths. I want you to do 3 deep breaths in. Inhale, 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 hold it, and just exhale slowly. All the way out. Let all that energy go. Again, inhale, 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 hold it, and just exhale slowly. Just let all that energy go, let go of all that blockage, and just kind of rotate your shoulders. You're going to move them up and down. Just kind of get that energy moving. So we want to get your energy moving so you're creating the movement in your body, the movement in your soul. We want to get rid of all the blockages because we got to move them. We got to move out that energy. We got to get those blockages gone. We got to get rid of those fears. We got to get rid of those emotions. We got to get them out. Just get them out. And just kind of inhale again. Inhale. Inhale. Hold it. Now exhale slowly. Just keep your eyes closed. Just kind of visualize that color. Whatever it may be, bright, vibrant. Some of us are not able to even visualize a color. Some of us may see darkness. And if you're seeing darkness right now, that's okay because we're going to get you out of the dark. We're going to get you into the light. If you've seen the color yellow, you visualized it, that means your body's needing some healing. For some of us that visualize the color red, for instance, may mean that we may need to be rooted and grounded in our life. Something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel whole. For some of us that's seen the color blue, it may mean that your voice is not being open. You feel like you're not being heard. For some of us that's seen the color green or seeing the color green may mean that our heart is frozen and we're not able to open it up. For some of us that may see the color pink may mean that we need more love in our life. We're trying to activate ourselves. I'm going to let you be the one to decide. What do you feel that you're needing? What do you feel that you're looking for? If you've seen the color white, it may mean that you feel like your soul needs to be free. You need to feel like you're a butterfly. You need to feel like you just need to blossom and be open and be ready. Bringing in these colors are so deep. And some of us that see so many colors at one time, and it's not really one color, it's many colors, that means that you're activating to a different dimension. And some of us who are not able to see colors may mean that our third eye is blocked. So we're going to remove a lot of these blockages as we work through it. So I want you to take one more deep breath and inhale. Inhale, inhale, hold it, and just exhale. Let all that energy go. Let all that blockage go. Let go of all that negativity that has been coming around you, whether it's coming in this life, your past lives, whatever it is that you've been holding on to. We're here to open it. And now just say, I am whole. I am perfect. I am complete. Amen. All right, Susan, I'm going to let you take it away.
Thank you, Mrs. Graham. I find it interesting in the exercise you did. I was sitting here sort of taking some of my own notes, and I want to thank you for having me inhale and exhale. One thing I want to point out to so many people is life gets so rushed, and Mrs. Graham mentioned that sometimes we have to find stillness. We have to slow down. And when we are so busy and so overwhelmed with everything that's bombarding us from different texts or different family events or getting our kids ready for school or getting ourselves to work, and it's all about the corporation, All of these things cause us to hold our breath. Let's go back to the heart of the matter. When we hold our breath, we actually lock down the rib cage. We actually lock our lungs in place. And when we do that, our circulatory system struggles. Our circulatory system is actually what keeps us alive. Think about your blood flowing through your body, through your soul. That blood has to get to every organ. And where there is energy stuck, the blood's not getting to those organs. It's not getting to those muscles. It's not circulating. So therefore, you're going to feel depleted. It's a matter of slowing down. And sometimes it's just a matter of exhaling. I want you to notice during the next few days how often you stop breathing, or you're inhaling so much, or you just aren't noticing how long your exhale is. Because when those two things are balanced, when the inhalation is balanced and the exhalation is balanced, then we're flowing at a more balanced rate. The exhalation actually helps to take the anxiety. It takes the fear. It calms our nervous system. It clears our head. It's sort of like taking a balloon and letting the air out of it. And when we do that, yes, the balloon may go flat, but we're not going to collapse. All we're going to do is give our body a chance to catch up. We're going to actually begin to balance ourselves. Energy is a movement. And it doesn't necessarily mean movement as in we're going to run up and down the stairs, or we're going to go to the gym, or I'm going to take a walk, or I'm going to do yoga or Tai Chi. Energy within our body is constantly moving if we allow it. If you're looking at your screen right now, we're talking about a sailboat. And this sailboat can run smoothly through waters, regardless of whether that water is related to family or love or job. Sailboats move slowly, clearly, with purpose through water. They're light. They actually disperse the water around them so that forward movement, backward movement, sideward movement, all of it seems balanced. But when we have all of these situations that cause us to hold our breath, it's like sludge begins to build on the bottom. And this sludge inside your body is where the energy is actually stuck. And when that happens, this is where we're called to do meditation. We're called to sit still with our own self at times and try to get a handle on what's really going on below the surface. You are your own guide, and I've had a teacher one time who referred to it like this: we are the students of our own energy. Our bodies are a laboratory, and we are learning to manage that energy rather than act like the 2-year-old having a temper tantrum, or the 16-year-old who's upset because they can't take the car keys. Managing that energy means we're going to get rid of the sludge on the bottom. And we're actually going to start looking within the body and going deeper to find out what muscle hurts. Are my bones hurting? Why is my spine so tight? Wait, why are my shoulders so rounded? All of these things that we look at in the mirror, that we look at below the surface, these are indicators to us that our spirit is asking us to change. And when we talk about energy, there's something that we all need to know here. Energy can be positive or it can be negative. It's different for every person. And this deals with perception and what Mrs. Graham was talking about, rewiring our brain. I know for a fact that fear can collapse me, but fear can also present a challenge and propel me forward. That's what I mean when I tell you energy can be positive or negative. It's up to you. But what I'm going to ask you to do is, during this next week's homework or the next few days, I want you to go into your meditation and look inside your body. I want you to do those deep inhalations and full exhalations. Find out where that energy is not flowing really well. And you can do this in a number of ways. I know a lot of times when people teach chakra training, they talk about the vertical energy running from the base of the spine up to the head. This is where earth connects to heaven. And then they talk about the energy running back down the spine. When you sit there and you run energy up one side of your spine and let it come back down the other, there's going to be a point where in your mind's eye, you feel that energy get stuck. That's an indicator right there that your life with momentum has been put on pause at some point, and that there is an emotional hang up there that you need to get in touch with. No one likes to go into the emotions. I get it. But when we can identify an emotion with the pain, then we begin to heal not only the physical body, but also the spiritual, the mental, and the emotional body. We have to do them together because our bodies, they are fabulous things. But so often we ignore them because we stay in our mind. I'm asking you to get out of your mind, go deeper, look and see how many barnacles are there. We won't get to all of them in these 3 weeks, so choose a situation that suits you right now that you want to work on as we continue on in our tonight's lesson. Mrs. Graham?
Absolutely. We need to really focus on what is that one area in our lives that is the biggest blockage. What is that one barnacle that is eating up inside? Because as Susan just said a few moments ago, our bodies are like machines. Unfortunately, you may not want to hear this, but yes, we are mean, lean, fighting machines because we wake up at a certain time. We know to eat at a certain time. Our bodies just work like a mechanic. And unfortunately, if we don't recharge our bodies and we don't recharge our souls and get rid of some of those things that are just eating us inside, then what happens is our physical body starts to get attacked. Then we start getting sick. So whether it's illnesses, emotional, mental, whether we're suppressing something way back from a childhood, these things need to be clear in order for you to love, to accept, because you need to love the one you're with yourself. And that's another thing that I'm going to be teaching you over these next few weeks is to learn to love the one you're with yourself. Because so many people come to me looking for love. You know, is he or she the right one? I start off by beginning it and telling them the ones that we need to love is ourselves and really getting that out. So right now, I would love for you guys to take pen to paper and write down what are those things that you feel that have been deep inside of you as far back as you absolutely can remember that has just felt blocked, whether it's you're feeling not love or acceptance from your family, whether you're feeling a form of rejection, whether you're feeling that your father didn't give you the love that you needed, or maybe you never even had a father around, whether you never felt that your mom was there and maybe she was too busy, and maybe when you had a question and you felt like she wasn't there. I want you to write these things down. And when you take pen to paper and write it down, you actually activate that energy, take that energy, bring it up to the surface. Yes, I know you're probably saying, I don't want to bring that up to the surface, or I've already been through this. Well, guess what? You're going to go deep and large, and you're going to go deep with me, and I'm going to help you get there because I'm going to reactivate your energy by reprogramming your mind and your soul to become more at peace. So don't use the word can't. Can't does not exist here. Can is not a word for me. You can, you will, and you are. If not, you're not going to get the results you want. And I really want to take you on a journey, and I want you to feel the love and feel the passion and the momentum in your life to create that journey. So, you don't have to do it all right now on this, phone call right now, but I really want you to take the next few days, and I really want you to write down, what does that barnacle feel like? What do you feel that's stopping you from moving? Do you think that it was somebody who betrayed you? Is it was someone that you felt that you gave too much energy to, or you felt like you had to take care of them because that was the right thing to do? I want you to write that person's name down, and I want you to say, I forgive you and I release you. You have to do that. So let's just say there's a Tim and Tim hurt you. Or let's just say there's a Jenny, she hurt you. For example, I forgive you, Tim, for the things you've done. I let go of you and I release you. That's just a little bit of the sample of it. So that way you could get that energy out, because that's what's going to help you move on. Because some of these people that have either hurt, lied, abused you, or whatever it is that you're feeling that missing piece, 9 times out of 10, those people have went on, they've already moved on in their journey, and you're still sitting there waiting and looking and waiting and looking and waiting and looking. Well, this is your time to create that moment and that momentum in your life, to create that energy to really get to where you want. Because unfortunately, we cannot change the past. We can only move forward by aligning the future. And remember, you can, you will, and you are. Susan?
And that's interesting. Remember at the beginning, I said we all have to be present with where we are right now. And being present with where you are right now is the most important thing you can do in your life, for yourself, for your inner child, and for your spirit. When we think about getting to the heart of the matter, Mrs. Graham's right. We cannot change the past. Many of us have regrets over something that may have happened. We may feel betrayed. Maybe we're always looking for the approval from someone. Maybe we just don't feel good enough. All of those things are the sludge at the bottom. Those are the types of emotions that get stuck within the body. And I want to relay a story with you, something that happened to me actually just a couple of months ago. And I thought that I was way over this particular feeling, but I realized it was a feeling that I had had several times in my life where relationships were concerned, but not necessarily where a job was concerned. And this involved a situation I was in with my work in a small town here, my hands-on work that I do with people in a small town here near me. But I was in a situation where I no longer enjoyed going to the office. I loved my clients, I loved what I did, but something about the office seemed to be different. And I'm a logical, mental person. I will try to push through anything in the world thinking it's all my fault. And sometimes each and every one of us do that. We sabotage ourselves and we wonder, well, what did I do wrong this time? Sometimes we don't do anything wrong. Listen to what I just said. Sometimes we do nothing wrong. It's just time to move. It's time for a change. Well, in the situation I found myself in, I believed I was sabotaging the situation, but there was an underlying jagged energy, like a very unsettled energy that kept nagging at me. There had been some changes in the office routine. The office people, the owners of the place wanted to incorporate new things to bring more clients in. And this is where the problem came in. Because in my hands-on work with clients, I was already struggling with the noise in the building. For the work I do in the counseling I help people with and helping them understand their body and helping them understand how to look inside their body where they are stuck and become friends with the pain that's there, I need a little silence sometimes. And the noise was so much that I could hear every conversation taking place out in the lobby. So it was really interfering with the energy that was going on. And I had spoke to the owners about this off and on for 6 months, even offering to come in and put up some sound barriers on the walls myself. Well, there's one thing you should know about me. I'm a problem solver. When I come to you with a problem, I have already exhausted every mean available to me to be able to solve the problem. I didn't want to go into a shouting match with the owners. I didn't want to go back to a 2-year-old temper tantrum. I've learned enough in my own spiritual journey that I wanted to manage the energy, be professional, and be adult. But I wasn't being heard. That was the first emotion that was coming forward. I wasn't being heard. And it caused me to really want to shout and scream, and I had to dissipate my energy because I knew it was building up. But when they talked about bringing new things in where more clients would come in without fixing the existing problems, you're right. I was very stern. I was very matter of fact. And I just stated my opinion and my problems single-handedly with no one else except myself and the owner's understanding. But I could not make that jagged energy go away. And I couldn't figure out what it was until one day it hit me. I felt betrayed. I felt betrayed because the owner spoke one thing, but then did not take care of the situation at hand. Which brings us to our second slide on the screen. I found myself on this cinder block wall where I was at a decision point. I could suppress the energy, I could suppress the betrayal, I could suppress the anger, or I could take a stand for myself and speak up in a professional tone and let them know exactly why I was not in favor with them moving forward with new things in the office. But it wasn't about being a 2-year-old. It wasn't about getting my way. It was about resolving a problem that was for the highest good of the clients who were paying me to help them with their healing. I had not ever in my life been able to put the feeling on betrayal. And betrayal is a deep heart energy and emotion. It will manifest itself as grief, as depression, as shortness of breath, as low energy, as feeling unworthy. It will cause you physical hurt and pain to where you want to collapse and cry. You have to be in touch with the emotions and what they're there to teach you if you want to live a life with momentum. So what I did in this situation was I realized that I was at a decision point at one of the top of the cinder blocks right there in the middle of your screen. It was a major decision point. It was a hassle for me to change offices. I had a pretty good rate where I was, but at the same time, I was doing it with just willpower to get through, and it was burning me out. While I was able to help the clients, I was expending more energy trying to manage noise than to be able to give 100% to what I really was passionate about. So I was at a decision point where I either had to move right, move left, or go back down the totem pole and be stuck where I was in life. I stood on my own 2 feet. I decided I was going to change offices. My spirit actually told me to take a sabbatical from all of it so that I could really follow my true passion, and that's teaching. And that's where you find me here tonight. I want to tell you this. Regardless of what the emotion is with the pain that you're feeling in your body, you are the laboratory, you are the manager, you are the student, and you are the teacher. When an imbalance comes forward in your life, you will revert back to old habits. You may find that you eat more, you want to drink more, you want to exercise more, you work more, maybe you smoke, maybe you have sex, whatever. The energy is building up, and that is your first clue right there, that something in your life is requiring you to make a decision and make a change. That's how you get to a life with momentum. Mrs. Graham?
Thank you for that, Susan. Now that leads us into the next thing. As Susan just spoke about, she had a block with her work, and she felt that she didn't want to leave it because she was at a really comfortable place, but she knew that she needed to make the change. How so many of us go through this. For instance, if you're in a relationship or you've been married for even 30 or 40 years and you're thinking, I have children, I don't need to make this change right now. I need to stick with them until they get through college, or the timing is not right. So what we do is we have that wall. We allow that wall to control our life because we keep telling ourselves, I could get through this. I could get through this. But sometimes enough is enough. When are you going to bust down that wall and push through so you are able to get to the other side of your life? Because what happens is, by having those blockages and having those walls in front of you, it's very difficult for us to see what's in front of you. It's kind of like when you're driving down the road and you see, and then here comes this big 18-wheeler, he pulls in front of you, and now you can't see in front of you. All you know is you're driving down the road and you see an 18-wheeler. Well, that's kind of what your life feels like. It's like you can't see in front of you. You can't see what could happen, or what that possibility is, or if it's a good possibility or even a bad possibility. The only way you're going to be able to get through this is to break down that wall. But also, don't be afraid to make changes. Don't be afraid to say, I don't want to. I'm not ready. I want to make a change in my life first. It's about me. It's not about you anymore. Whether it's your friends, your family, your children. Sometimes that's very difficult because we feel that we need to take care of everybody. And, so many times, I have, clients coming in and they're being like, well, my child is not doing right, or my husband's not treating me right. Well, why is that? Is it because you're an enabler? You have to ask yourself, am I the receiver or am I the enabler? Because sometimes we enable people and we think we're trying to help them, but yet you're actually hurting them. So you have to be able to really pull down that wall and give yourself permission. That's one thing that we don't do. We don't give ourselves permission to have fun. We don't give ourselves permission to just enjoy life. So today, I am opening up your life, your door, your soul, and I'm asking you to give yourself permission to drop down that freaking wall already and really let the energy flow. Because listen, the gift that I have, I like to call it, it's a blessing and a curse. I've been able to see and feel things since I was about 6 years old. It's been born into my family, so I would like to say it's with me 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. No, I cannot turn it off. It's with me all the time. The interesting thing is I chose this as being my life, my life's work, my path, and I love what I do. How many people out there can say right now they are happy and they love what they do? Not a lot of us can say that. But I could say that I love what I do and I'm whole and complete, because when you love what you do and there is no walls in front of you and you could see further ahead and not have an 18-wheeler in front of you, you can actually have a life. It doesn't matter if you're working 3 hours a day or if you're working 24/7 24/7, a day and working and doing. If you love what you do and you're really connected, it will make other people approach you, want to be around you, because it's kind of like, whoa, what are you doing? How are you, making this happen? Whether you're losing weight, you're feeling good about yourself, you will glow. People will notice it and they're going to want to know what you did and how you got there, because it'll show on you. But if you let all of those fears and those emotions build and then build and then build, then you're not going to take it to the next level. So this is the time that you need to tell yourself, I will give myself permission to let down this wall. I will give myself permission to have fun and really get through those layers, because that's the energy fields that I'm going to teach you and learn you how to break it down, because all of us have our own psychic ability. It's called intuition. We're born with it. It's just whether one chooses to use it or not. You need to not listen to those voices in your head. Don't even listen to your heart. Believe it or not, don't listen to your heart. Listen to your gut. Your gut is your own intuition. And sometimes it's very difficult for us to stop the noise in our head, because our minds will just go 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Some of us have been married for so many years and they even say, well, I'm not even having a physical relationship with my spouse anymore, because you got so much noise going on in your head that sometimes it's hard for us to get that wall down. Again, it leads us back into that brick wall. Those cinder blocks have to come down. And then you have to ask yourself, what is the thing that I need to do to bring that energy in? Well, we're going to get you there. It's a process. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, anything worth working on is worth waiting on. So when you're feeling that energy and you're feeling that vibration and you're feeling that electromagnetic energy running through your soul, unlike you never had before, you're going to feel that 7-year-old little child coming out and playing. And that's going to be part of your homework this week. I'm going to ask each and every one of you to let your inner child have fun and let that inner child come out. I want that little boy or little girl to come out and just play. So your homework this week is going to be, if you could go to a fair, if you could go to an amusement park, even if you could go to like a game room, and just don't think of anything. Just have fun and just really let your energy flow. Let that little child come out. Even if you could go to like a playground and just let that energy flow. Go to a dog park. Let that energy come out and let yourself just have fun. I want you to really connect to that inner child, because that's what's going to help us move you. That's what's going to help you move into where you need to be, and also get to a natural gravity. Because what happens is we hold on to so much and we keep everything locked up, and we build and we build and we build. And at once we just feel like we just want to explode. It's kind of like, when is enough is enough? And so many clients come to me each and every day saying, I can't move forward. I can't get ahead. It's because you have a freaking wall in front of you. So get the wall out. And I realize it's going to take time. But by doing this, little by little, bit by bit, you're going to get there. By doing the work, we're going to cleanse that energy. By writing down those people, by writing down those things that have happened to you, like I said a few minutes ago, in the past, you're going to release all that stuff from your past, and it's going to help you move forward. By giving yourself permission to have fun, it's going to help you create that balancing and create that vibration, and help you really get identified, to really get to know the one you're with, yourself. And again, you're saying hello to yourself. That's what's going to help you really connect to a better ability of understanding and having that awareness and that movement to create your new you. Susan?
Mrs. Graham's absolutely correct. And what that leads us into is, we talked about a little earlier the vertical expression of energy, sitting and meditating and watching it go from the spine up to the head, and from the head back down to the base of the spine. But there's also another part to the energy vibration, and that's the horizontal vibration. Because when you think about it, you see a picture of an aura. It doesn't have a straight vertical up and down. It is actually expanded outward from us. So when Mrs. Graham's asking you to go and let your inner child play, she's asking you to actually manifest and become aware of the horizontal energy of your body. It's in the horizontal energy that we begin to be able to receive and express. The vertical that runs from the base of the spine to the head and back down, that's the liberating and manifesting current. But the horizontal is where we expand ourselves outward, and we express ourselves, and we begin to open ourselves to receiving. Mrs. Graham's talked about the blocks, and I've talked about the body. And remember, I said the body is an amazing instrument. When the energy gets stuck in one part, other parts of the body begins to compensate. That is exactly how your posture can change from day to day, or by different events that feel like they've hit you in the gut. The energy will build. It'll usually go to your head or it'll go to your feet. One just means you're extremely scattered, and one means you're extremely collapsed. But during those times, we avoid, we procrastinate, we overcompensate, and our minds begin to think, but if I can just do more, if I could just get some more things done, then people will like me and they'll approve of me. Well, you're going on willpower there. And I have to be honest with you, I have a friend that I talk with. There's a woman that I was in basic training with 38 years ago. And she talked about visiting her sisters. And she said, I really go because I don't want to feel guilty. Wow. She is trying to avoid the guilt and put herself out. Not that she doesn't love her sister, she does, but she also works long hours. She's doing it to avoid the guilt. What are you doing? What blocks are there, and what ways are you compensating to avoid the feeling of guilt, the feeling of shame or betrayal or fear? Because that's what I really want you to become aware of. When you're sitting in meditation this week, and this will be on the homework also, you start to feel the body. Where does it hurt? Where does it feel tight? Because those areas are where you're creating resistance. A lot of us, just like in my story I told you earlier, I wasn't aware of what the feeling of betrayal felt like until I actually reflected on it and had an aha moment. Many of you may not know what guilt feels like. You may not know what shame feels like. You may not know what grief feels like because you're so closed. It's like your breastbone is trying to find its way to the back of your spine because you're closing yourself off. You're not allowing yourself to receive or express. I'm asking you to open up because we don't want to avoid, procrastinate, or overcompensate. The whole thing is to balance. And the one thing that I want you to be aware of is no one's perfect. Not one of us on this call is perfect. Regardless of the emotion or the energy that's building up, our fourth chakra changes. We can open our heart. We can open our third chakra. We can open our third eye. We can open our mind. It's all in the perception. I have a situation also where two sisters, one has the perception that her sister has never had to work a day in her life. Well, that sister has always been a stay-at-home mom, which to me is the hardest profession of all. It's the perception needs to change in order for that person to realize that we all are working, we're all doing a part, but it's not about doing everyone's part. It's about knowing what belongs to us and what belongs to someone else. And if you're afraid to make changes in your second chakra, your reproductive area, your large intestine, your colon area, you're finding it hard to let go. But the body can only hold on to so much. We are not machines, even though mainstream media wants us to believe we are. One thing I want you to be aware of is the only person you can change is you. And when you start to do that, some of these blocks will go away. And then others will begin to see you in a different point of view, in a different light, and they'll want to know what you're doing. If your bones are hurting, let's just go through this. The bones are the most dense part of the body. And when we're resisting a change, or we feel threatened, or we feel betrayed, our nervous system goes into what we call the sympathetic nervous system. This is called the fight or flight syndrome. This is called the survival mechanism because the body's going to do what it has to do in order to keep us alive. When we go into the survival mechanism, where we're guarding our energy, where we feel threatened, where we're harboring guilt or shame or fear or grief or lies or illusions, we lock our body down at the joint level and we begin to use our joints instead of our muscles. And one thing I want you to be aware of is the fact that the ATP in the muscles is actually the firing mechanism. We need to move and keep our bodies in movement to some extent in order to keep the fire burning. That's what's going to help us with these blocks also, as long as we are balanced and we know exactly the direction we want to take. And what these 3 weeks are about is tonight we're talking to you about the blocks, we're talking to you about the body, we're talking to you about looking inside your own body, looking at the pain, looking at where maybe your upper leg is really tight, or maybe your lower back hurts, or maybe the area between your shoulder blades hurt. When you're talking about breathing, we breathe from the front, the sides, and the back. See if you can do that, because I bet you $10 it's difficult for you to feel yourself breathing from the back of your heart. But the bones are the most dense, and when we go into the bones, we have to ask ourselves if we've been strong for too long or if we feel unsupported. And we also have to ask ourselves, what do I need to just relax and let go of so that I flow and feel my arms stretching out, feel my legs dancing across the floor, feel my feet touching the ground so that I'm part of my own life. Because without being a part of your own life, you won't find a life with momentum. Mrs. Graham?
Absolutely. And you have to want this. I'm going to say it. We could lead you to the water, but we can't make you drink the water. You have to want, and you have to need to want to do this. In fact, you've known this. These are the things you know that you don't know that you already do know on a subconscious level. You've built and built and built for so long that now it's your time to really come out of the shell and really have your wishes come true and really create that new beginning and have that new beginning because it's just like if you look at your screen right now, you'll see a wishbone. Well, this is our time to create that wish, manifest it, and make it happen. You can manifest anything. It's just about bringing in that awareness and that alignment with yourself, and really bringing in the energy and bringing out the old, because that's really what this session is all about this week. It's about you really getting rid of the old. We have to make space. It's kind of like if you have a home and you have a house full of furniture, but you want to buy a whole bunch of new furniture. You got to get rid of the old. You have to let the old go so you can start to create that new beginning, that new energy. So, just back in the beginning of our talk when we had, the boat with the barnacles, we want to sail smoothly. We don't want all those barnacles attached to us. We don't want that energy. We want that wall down so we could see exactly where we're going, so we are able to create our space and have that wish come true and really live our life complete. And this is not a journey that you're just going to get this one time and it's not going to continue. You're going to get it and you're going to keep getting it. You're going to keep learning it. And then you're going to keep getting activated and opening up that door and not using that can't, that nervous energy that you've been holding on to, that undecisiveness of when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, why is it going to happen. It's just going to happen because the universe has everything exactly the way it's supposed to be. Everything runs together. We live in this whole ecosystem, this whole ball that we live in. We are electromagnetic current. We are energy. And that's what we are here to help you do. Reconnect that energy and get that electromagnetic energy moving, because your thoughts on the way that you've been keeping them inside, and we're gonna go more deeper into that on our talks when we're able to let you speak and ask questions and get answers. So we're going to really learn you how to get connected with that the deeper we go into our 3-week sessions. But the door is open, and that door is going to stay open until you allow all that old energy to be gone. So this is about selling all the old things and getting all those things out and letting your body be free so you could be able to sail in your life, have no walls, and be able to make your wishes, create it and manifest it, and be able to have whatever it is you want. Because listen, the proof is in the pudding, and I'm it. This is where I've gotten to where I am right now. I've opened my door to an endless possibility. I said to myself about 10 years ago, I see myself having my own reality TV show. Well, guess what? It came to me. I didn't go out there. I didn't look for it. It came to me. I said to myself, wow, I need a manual. Well, guess what? A publishing company came to me. They signed me up. I've always wanted to do radio. Guess what? I have my own radio show. So everything happened exactly the way it was supposed to happen. And I didn't even have to go out there and make it happen. I just have to be open to that possibility. But if I didn't get rid of that old energy, just like we talked in the beginning with those barnacles, if I didn't get down that wall, and if I wasn't making those wishes, I would have never got to where I need to be. So these are your 3 steps. These are your 3 stepping stones. These are your 3 steps, your 3 weeks of getting yourself clear so we can get you to that next level so you could be able to really create and manifest it and make it happen. Susan?
And you're absolutely right, Mrs. Graham. These 3 weeks are about awareness, and that's what we're talking about tonight. When we are aware of where we are at this moment, when we are aware of a situation we really want to focus on and set as a goal for these next 3 weeks, then we can manifest where it is we really want to be. And that's going to be part of your homework this week, is to draw a picture of how you see yourself in your situation right now. And I'm not going to ask you to draw a picture of a person. I am not an artist by any means. Mine would probably be a steel beam laying on the ground where maybe it's buried deep within the dirt. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. It's your personal picture and no one else will see it. But we're going to have you draw a picture to become aware of how you feel right now in your current situation. And you can even list some emotions with it. We're also going to ask you to draw a picture of where you can imagine you want to be with your wishes and your dreams. Now that second picture could go two different ways. You can draw a picture of where you want to be, or you can draw a picture of what your life would look like without these barnacles within your soul right now. How much more free would you be? My question would be this, because based on what Mrs. Graham was just talking about, feeling free, taking risk, letting go, it makes you feel vulnerable. And there's not one person that I know of that enjoys feeling vulnerable. But you won't change until you become vulnerable, because the spirit itself will not trust you to give you more responsibility, give you more direction, to give you more guidance without you trusting yourself and the spirit and the teachers and the guides you've chosen to work with, unless you're vulnerable. My question would be this, though. Why do you want to continue to feed whatever it is that's making you feel bad in the first place? We don't. But we do it every day of our lives. I do it myself sometimes, especially when there's major decisions. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Nope, I can get this one more thing done. I can get that done. I can do this. Well, I know I really didn't stop to eat lunch. And yes, I know I didn't exercise today. And wait, I'm not exhaling. We can come up with every excuse in the book. But the bottom line is this. We can't do it all. So now's the time to find out what it is you really want to do. Get to the heart of the matter. Believe you can live life with momentum and choose what you desire. Become the manager of your energy. Become the manager of your life. Find out where your energy is stuck, because in doing so, every organ has a set of emotions attached to it. It's not everyone that says, oh, my gallbladder hurts, or the energetic gallbladder, even though I may not have one, it feels resentment. Some people's resentment will show up in their collarbone. Some of it will show up in their throat because they can't voice it. I'm asking you to open up. I want you to be aware. When you're writing down the different things that you want to work on, I want you to choose one goal. Choose one goal for what it is you like to have during these next 3 weeks, because that's going to help us tailor things. And while you will get pre-recorded lessons, 4 days later, we will have a live session where you actually get a chance to say to us, this is what I liked about your lecture. This is what I didn't like about your lecture. This is what I understood or didn't understand. You can even say, you know what, this is too hard for me. That's okay. You're going to have the support not only of Mrs. Graham and I, but you'll have the support energetically of everyone else on the call. That's the whole point of doing the live online group sessions 3 or 4 days after you've listened to these lectures. The liver's about detoxifying. It's time we all detoxify. The small intestine is about assimilation. What do you want to assimilate right now? It's not just about food. It's about your thoughts. It's about how you treat yourself, how you nurture yourself. You're going to have to be vulnerable, but first of all, you're going to have to be aware of where you are at this moment, what you feel like, and where you want to be. That's how you get to a life with momentum. And if you don't believe that anything is happening in this session, let me just tell you this right now. When we do these sessions, or we've done them in the past, Mrs. Graham behind the scenes is running energy on every one of you listening right now. She is actually looking within your soul, and she's knowing at this particular moment where some of your energy is stuck. The heart of the matter is getting you to realize where it's stuck. It is not a one-way street. No one can do it for you. It takes both the teacher and the student to find balance for you. Mrs. Graham?
Thank you, Susan. Absolutely. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm running energy through each and every one of your bodies, your minds, your souls, to really feel the energy. And that's going to lead us right into our closing meditation to really help you get activated. And then I'm going to kind of go over everything we've done over the last hour and making sure that you guys are able to understand your homework for this week, because I like to dot my I's and cross my T's. And, you know, again, you have to believe, you have to have faith, and you have to have wishes in order for your wishes to come true. Your wishes are inside of you. We all have them, but we have to say it out loud because the universe listens. I like to call them the committee. The committee is with us 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We came here on this earth for a reason. Whether we chose our parents, we didn't choose our parents, we came on this earth to get activated. You came on this earth to get here and be back on this earth, whether you've been here 1 time, 3 times, 49 lives, or 150 times. It doesn't matter. You're here. You want to get the work done, or you could not get the work done and you could choose to come back in your next lifetime and have to do everything again. I'm not saying that you don't have to come back. You can come back if you want to, but do you really want to come back and do this whole thing again and do exactly what you've already done? If you choose to come back, you want to come back whole, perfect, and complete, and come back and start something new. So we want to go backwards and get rid of all the old, all the worn out, and allow us to really get activated and become one in our bodies, one in our mind, one in our souls, one in our spirits. So this is where we're going to go deep, and we're going to go large into your soul, into your spirit, into your vibration, and open up and awaken that inner child. We're going to awaken your soul to a place where you know exactly what you want, where you're going, where you're heading, and you're going to start going into this energy. You're going to start metaphoring into that vibration, especially tonight when you are sleeping. Because when you're sleeping, I'm working on your energy. When your energy is restful, your life will begin more balancing. So what I want you to do before you go to bed tonight, I want you to drink a cup of hot water. That's right, a cup of hot water. Don't put anything in there. Nothing. Just boil it on the stove, because if you put it in the microwave, it'll change the molecules. In fact, I don't really like a microwave, so I would rather, you know, either have you to do it on like a hot pot, or either just boil it on the stove and drink it. 3 or 4 ounces right before you go to bed. It's actually a natural clearer, okay? What it does is it clears the energy and you're detoxing, because as we're working with you, Susan and I are helping you get clear and working with your energy, you're detoxing. And I want all those toxins to come out. I want all of that energy to be eliminated from your bodies, from your minds, from your souls, from your spirit. And I really want your energy to elevate. So let's go into the energy and awaken your souls, awaken your body. I want you to just take your hands and put them all the way out. You can sit in a chair. You could sit in a Buddhist style position, or you could even lay down. It doesn't matter. But I want your hands stretched out. And I want you to move your hands up and down, up and down, up and down. Move that movement. I want that energy, because we're creating what we call frequency. You're letting that energy move. So basically you have your hands stretched out. You have your fingers just stretched out. You just have them palms facing down, and you're just going up and down with your eyes closed. And you're just letting that energy just run through your body. You're letting that energy, that vibration, that electromagnetics come to your soul, come to your body, come to your mind. You're letting go of all the fears, all the past pains. Your soul, your body, your mind is getting electrified with good, positive energy. Again, just moving your arms up and down, up and down, up and down, and just kind of move your fingertips where you're doing it. Move your thumb, move your hands. Now we want to stop, and now we want to go into a circular position again with our hands just stretched out. We want to just let that energy go around and around and around. Now we want to go in the opposite direction. Circle it around and around and around. Just let that energy creating those circles, because remember, we are a circle, just like the earth is a circle. We are one circle, one energy, one vibration. We're bringing in that frequency, and then I just want you to inhale deep. Deeper, hold it, and then I want you to just go, just push it out. Let that energy go. Again, inhale, and just let it out. Just let that energy, again, inhale, and just let it out. Just let it out, let it out, let it out, let it out. Let that energy stretch it, stretch it, stretch it, and inhale. Now bring your hands to your stomach, bringing that energy to you. And just exhale, relax your mind, relax your soul. Relax your body, relax your spirit, relax your arms, relax your shoulders, relax your legs. Release all this energy. And I want you to think of the color purple. Dark purple, light purple, lavender, whatever purple comes to you. Just try to visualize the color purple, because we really want to connect with that 7th chakra, because we're going to be doing some downloads. Going into that energy, awakening your mind, awakening your soul, awakening your spirit, allowing yourself to feel no worries, no pain. You've done nothing wrong. Whatever it is that has happened in the past, you are letting it go. You are releasing it. You are forgiving those who have used you, hurt you, lied you, betrayed you, trespassed against you. And you're also forgiving yourself for whatever it is that has happened or has happened to you, or anything that you feel guilty of. Allow your soul to be free and be awakened. When I count to 3, you will open your eyes and say, I let go and I let God. 1, 2, 3. I let go and I let God. Whether you believe in God, teacher, Allah, master, creator, it doesn't matter. God is an energy. We are an electromagnetic current. We are connecting with the Earth's atmosphere. We are connecting with the vibration of the Earth, and we're ready for change. As so many changes are happening right now, you are in change. You have the power. The power lives inside of you. I want to thank you personally, each and every one of you, for listening in tonight, taking this time to really get connected, getting whole, getting perfect, getting complete, and allowing yourself to be free and become more aware. So we're going to go over the homework with them. Susan?
Yes, I'm going to see if I have captured everything as far as homework goes. You ask them to write down a list of people who have hurt them and then offer forgiveness. But you also ask them to list their situations that they want to work on during these next 3 weeks. Maybe that's lost love. Maybe that's feeling empty. Maybe it feels guilty. There's some kind of emotion probably with the situation. So start to list those and then set a goal for which one is most important. Most often they're tied together. So when you're working on one, you're actually working on all of them. So we want you to set a goal for yourself for the next 3 weeks and what you really want to work on. During this session, we practiced inhalation and exhalation. In the homework, I am going to ask you to practice exhalation, to feel your nervous system relaxing. So many of us are stressed out. If by chance you are someone on the call who feels depressed, collapsed, and you're having a hard time getting off the couch, then I'm going to turn it around for you and ask you to do inhalation, because inhalation actually increases the energy and exhalation helps us release the energy. But remember, it's a vertical and a horizontal energy. We're going to ask you to go to the playground. This is where you really begin to find your vertical and horizontal energy, because we're going to ask you to let your inner child play. We want you to stretch your arms, to reach out, receive, express. We want you to bounce on your legs if you're able, or bounce up and down in a chair. This breaks up stagnant energy, but it also builds up energy from the ground level. Then we want you to feel your feet on the ground. When you do that, you're actually charging the fire within your own soul, because the ground gives us all that energy. We're going to ask you to draw a picture of how you see yourself in your current situation. How do you feel? This can be any picture you want to, and on the group calls, you can feel free to discuss it if you so desire. The next picture is going to be a picture where you draw what you would feel like without the barnacles, without this situation. Or you can draw a picture of where you want to be in 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, what it is according to your goal, how you want to feel and what you want to manifest. How will that momentum look if you learn to let go? And during your meditation over the next few days, prior to our group call, we want you to feel the energy in your body. We want you to feel it going up and down your spine, and we want you to notice where the resistance is. Is it in your lower back? Is it on the right side, the left side, the mid, the upper back, the neck? Then we want you to feel your energy as it expands sideways. We want you to notice whether or not you can feel your ribs moving as you breathe. This is body awareness. And knowing where the energy is stuck helps you become more aware of how the situation you find yourself in at this point is stopping you from living a life with momentum. Did I miss anything, Mrs. Graham?
Last but not least, don't forget to drink a cup of hot water before you go to bed tonight. It's very important to drink the hot water. And the reason why you should do the hot water every night during the 3 weeks is because I am doing lots and lots of energy work and clearing work on each and every one of you to open up your vibration, working on your electromagnetic fields. The water is actually a natural detoxer. It's a spiritual therapy. It's a natural clearing. And I just want to help you clear out the energy that needs to be gone and helping you really just open up to what is your own possibility. And you create your possibilities by believing. And most importantly, don't get rushed with it. Don't get frustrated with it. These emotions are going to come out. You're going to start to feel things that you may have forgotten about. It might be like something that happened 10 years ago, and you're going to be like, whoa, I'm starting to feel this again. You may feel worse before you feel better. That's the key ingredient. We want all of that energy to come up to the surface. And sometimes it doesn't always feel good. In the beginning, it doesn't always feel good. But at the end, you are going to get activated as long as you let yourself be open. You have to believe in yourself in order for this to work, and you have to be open. Remember, me and Susan are here for you. We're here to lead you. We're here to help you. We're here to guide you, but you have to take the first step by believing. And as I started off in the beginning, I want you to say hello to yourself, to the new you, and say goodbye to the old and worn out. Again, I want to give you guys the gratitude, the love, the caring, the warmth, the energy to each and every one of you. I thank each and every one of you for being open and allowing yourself to have a new beginning and being able to be on this spiritual journey with me and Susan. Thank you so much. God bless you. God be with you. And we will look forward to talking to you next time. Take care. Peace and love. Be well.